Well, hello, people of the world. So, if you've clicked on this video, that means you want to learn something, and you're about to get learned. So, this right here is the definitive guide to buying storage lockers. Everything you ever want to know, I'm about to tell you. So, I jotted down a little scribble scrabble right here of to kind of keep me on track so my brain don't go a little crazy. So, I want to start off by talking why do you want to buy a storage locker? Maybe you want to go treasure hunting. Maybe you want to do some side money. Maybe you're just bored and want to have a day of doing something a little different. Well, for me, I love plundering through people's lives. I like learning about people, and I like making money. This right here as a hobby, because this is a professional hobby for me. For me, this is fun, but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff that you're not going to expect. As I go through the video, I'm going to tell you everything. So, but let's say, okay, you figured out why. You want to make money. You know, you want to get a side business. You want to become a billionaire, which I guess it could be done, maybe, by Trump's locker. So, but anyways, once you figure out why you want to buy a locker, okay, let's say for this particular video, you want to buy it to make money, okay? Well, the first thing you need to know before you ever buy a locker is how are you going to make the money, okay? How are you going to sell it? So first off, if you've never had a garage sale, if you've never sold at the flea market, if you have not sold online, you know, you can, if you want to buy one for fun, that's one thing. But if you want to make money, learn how to make the money first, because it's real easy to buy these lockers. It's a whole different story about trying to sell the stuff into lockers. Okay, so you have online, you got eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook, Real World, you have, you know, Craigslist, you have garage sales, yard sales, selling at the flea market, selling at a swap meet, selling to your neighbors. Okay, so learn how you want to sell first before you get into buying a bunch of lockers. If you want to buy a small one just to get started, that's one thing. But if you're planning on making money and you haven't sold, if you haven't had a garage sale, if you haven't been to the flea market and try selling your own stuff, because I'm going to tell you, selling will take away part of your soul. It is probably one of the hardest things in the world to do, is sell something for what it's worth, because everybody else wants a deal. When you go out and try to buy a deal, you buy it because it's a deal. Okay? So, and there's something that I call perception of the deal, which I've made videos in the past about it. But basically, as long as you give an option to someone to make them think that it's a deal, they're going to buy it, regardless of anything else. Now, I'm not saying lie, deceive, or anything like that, but know how to be a salesperson, okay? So let's say you've got it in your mind, you want to buy storage units now, and you've already had a couple garage sales, yard sales. You felt the sting of people not buying stuff or wanting to pay way less than what it's worth, and you say, okay, I still want to do it. So the first thing is you got to find out, where are the storage units. So I'm going to go based off Jacksonville, Florida, and the best way to do it is in Jacksonville. They have a legal newspaper. It's called the Daily Record. Inside that paper, it has every single auction, not just storage auctions, but police auctions, car auctions, salvage auctions. I mean, it's a legal newspaper here in Jacksonville. I believe there's one for the rest of Florida, but it's one paper that covers everybody. If that doesn't work for you, you can call up your local storage unit facility and say, hey, where do you list the auctions, or when are you going to have an auction? But if you find out where they list them, because it has to be a legal listing saying they're going to auction off someone's property. They do not have the right just to sell it. So once you find out where everybody's listing it, then you can go there and find out. There's also online auctions, which a simple Google search will show you a bunch of different websites. They all have different rules, and we're going to go over the rules of how to buy a locker. But make sure that if you're on an online website buying storage lockers, Make sure you fully read and understand the rules, because all of them are different, and it is a legal binding contract when you put in a bid online. In person, the person will tell you, the auctioneer will tell you what the rules are and everything else as far as that's concerned. As far as the auction rules, okay, are you going to be paying state tax on buying it? In some cases, there's people that have, where they have a form that they fill out to where they don't have to pay sales tax when they buy it, but then they got to charge sales tax when they sell it. And I'm not going to get into the whole legal part of it. I'm just going to state the facts and let you make your own decisions as far as how you want to run your business, your way of making money. I'm not here to show you how to make your money. I'm going to show you how to buy a storage locker. So, and this is one here I just bought for $10 yesterday, and I figured today's a good day to start cleaning it out and going through stuff. But all this here I just bought for $10 at a in-person auction. Okay, at this particular auction, there's no taxes, no fees. So if you bid 10, you pay 10. Other ones, you bid 10, you got to pay 12% buyer's premium, and then you may have to pay sales tax. So make sure you understand that. You have a time limit of how quickly you have to have these things emptied, because they're auctioned off because they want to re-rent it to someone else. Most of them are 24 to 48 hours. If you buy a lot of lockers, you can talk with the auctioneer or the facility and say, hey, this is my situation. Can you give me a little bit more time? They can say no, or they can say yes. But please understand that you are entering an agreement, and whatever the rules are, you have to follow them. Okay? In fact, right here, I got auction rules, tax, premium, time limit, and read the rules. Most important thing. Did I even point at that? Here, yeah, there we go. So, you know why you want to do it. You already know how to sell, and now you know how to find them and buy them. Okay? And if you get confused on any of this, go back and watch the video again. Okay? I don't know how to edit, so you're getting live action right here. Now, once you buy a locker, this is a 5 by 15. All right. Now I have a big warehouse. I have 4 other storage units at this same facility that I'm at now. And you can end up running out of room really quick. My mom has bought small lockers, completely filled up her porch to where she couldn't even use it, off one little tiny locker. I've bought lockers that, I had to throw stuff away because there was no room to put it. All right, so you can sort it at the facility if you have enough time to, as far as processing. You can, you can sort it here, or you can just throw it all on the truck and get it out of here. So, but make sure you have a location to do this. So, if you buy a locker and you got 24 hours, you better be ready to empty out, process it, get the good and the bad separated, and get it out of there. Okay. Now, as far as sorting and storing, that's going to be something you're going to have to come up with. If you have an empty garage, sometimes they'll even let you rent the locker for a month if you need time to sort it. Okay. But now that you figured out where you're going to store it and where you're going to sort it, how are you going to move it? How are you going to clean this thing out? So I'm going to go through a couple of tools right now and a couple of things that I use to make my life easy as far as moving things. Okay, first off, small little ladder, okay? Because sometimes things get stacked up. You see how much room there is up here? I've actually seen them where stuff was hanging from the rafters and boxes up against the ceiling. I mean, this here is over my head, So I always recommend having a ladder just in case, because some of these things are packed well. Most of them are not. I mean, this cluster of whatever this was not packed well. Probably one of the reasons I got it for $10, because everybody's scared of moving stuff, and know your limits. If you see a locker and it's full of heavy engines and metal and everything else, and you're a smaller person, and you physically can't pick it up, then don't buy the locker. Don't get in over your head. Let me do a little sidebar real quick. Most people who buy storage lockers as a professional hobby or a business, most of them are teams of 2 or more. It's very rare. In fact, a lot of people has actually mentioned to me on it's rare that one person does it all. So I'm the odd man out right now. So, but most of these are two-man teams. So understand that what I'm telling you is for me to do it by myself. If you have a second person, some of this stuff you may not need, but I'm talking to one person getting into this. So, but recommend to have a ladder for if you ever need to get up. This is the one I use because I can almost touch the ceiling with this. Broom and dustpan. When you buy a locker, you have to do it what's called broom clean. That means you sweep it, and like all this little leaves and stuff like that, all that has to come out when you buy one of these. You can't just leave the trash in there. You gotta haul it off. Okay, I have a 6x12 trailer that I use, and then I have my trash cans from my house and my shop that I use for the trash. And you can also bring out trash bags. You can bring out whatever you want, you know, to throw the stuff away. For me, it's easier just to put the trash cans on the trailer and go that way. Then I also have Hoochie Mama here, which I tore the back seats out and I got plywood. So, you know, it's easy to slide stuff in and out. Right now there's tools because I literally just came off a job. And in fact, I almost broke my leg today. So yeah, I'm limping a little bit, but I'm still out here doing stuff. So, but as far as processing it, you know, you take the stuff out, you deem what you think a price is, or you can look it up on eBay. If you're looking up on eBay, make sure you're looking at the sold listings. If the number's not in green, it don't mean a thing. Yeah, that's rhyme, sorta. So, but as far as, you know, like you want to, I use tables because I don't like bending over. If you're younger or more limber, then you don't have to have tables. But this is my setup. I usually do 2 tables. The trash I throw right there in the trash can, and then all this good stuff I move over here. If you want to bring out some totes to put stuff in, you can do that, you know. But it's, as far as the little detailing, you know, I'm just showing you the general idea of how to do this. Okay, you're gonna need straps, packing blankets, stuff like that. I knew what this locker was, so I didn't bring out packing blankets. Hey, there's so many lockers that packing blankets come with them, you know. And then something else is furniture dollies or a hand truck dolly. You know, I'm right here next to it, so I didn't see a need to bring out my hand truck. I don't know what's in the back. Maybe I shot myself in the foot. Maybe I'm gonna have to come back with a hand truck and move stuff. I don't know. But I just decided on this particular setup, because I already knew what's in here, this is what I'm bringing. So, but broom, dustpan. Oh, something else. Really, really important. If you have one, don't go out and spend money if you don't have one. But the little blower. This sucker right here, battery operated blower. If you happen to find one of them cheap, it's a lot easier just to blow everything out than try to sweep it. So, you know, not the trash. You know, I still do a sweep, but all the little stuff I blow it out, and they, the owners of the place really like it when I do that. All right, so to recap just a little bit here before we go to the next one. You know why you're going to buy it. You know how to sell. You know all the rules. You bought one, and now you're sorting. Okay. Understand. There's one other thing I'm going to say. Understand when you're sorting, you may want to have gloves. You may want to have masks. Hell, you may want a hazmat suit on some of these. You're going to come across broken glass. You're going to come across jagged metal, wood that's splintered. You're going to come across cockroach, rats, old nasty food. Okay, and this is not every locker. There's some good lockers, but there's some bad lockers. So be ready for damn near everything. Okay. In fact, in retrospect, I forgot to bring my gloves because you also have to take in consideration there may be drugs, there may be other things in here. You know, there may be a loaded firearm, knives with, you know, that are open, razor blades. I mean, you have to understand that you're going into something you have no idea what's there. I don't have an idea what's there. I pulled out 2 little chairs, opened that up, and a tote. That's as far as I've gotten, you know. So they're not all that bad, but you have to be ready for when they are that bad. Okay, so if you have any kind of, I mean, I've been in ones that smelled so bad that, you know, I've brought Lysol. You know, and it wasn't, that was one I bought online, because you can't smell lockers online. So, you know, and I'm going to have another thing about later on about online auctions, but pretty much online, the good thing about them is you can take the time, because sometimes they're, you know, 3 to 30 days online, so you have plenty of time to zoom into the pictures and do research, everything else. The live ones, you get a more realistic approach to it, but you don't have as much time to, you know, figure out what things are worth and what's the most you can get out of it. So but yeah, be careful going in here, because they're not necessarily dangerous, but they can be very dangerous. In fact, in this one here, you know, here's raw glass. There's a mirror and 2 pieces of raw glass, you know. So, and then there's furniture and a totes teetering. So there's a possibility some of this stuff's going to fall when I go to pull it out. Let's see here. So we got moving trailers. Why did I write down vacation? I have no idea where I wrote. I'm sitting here looking, and I got tools, trailers, and then vacation. I don't know why I wrote. Am I going on vacation? Hell, I didn't even know. All right, so how to process. So again, what I do is I'll have some tables set up, and I like to just separate the good from the bad right up front. Okay, so if it's trash, I throw it right away. Old blankets, anything that smells, throw it right away, you know. As far as, you know, putting stuff in your vehicle, I kind of want to go through things, because you never know if it's full of spiders, full of cockroaches. You know, you don't know what's in it. So I wouldn't necessarily put it inside my vehicle unless I process it. And speaking of vehicles, if you don't have an SUV, pickup, or van, okay, be very careful getting into this line of work. Okay, if you want to do one as a hobby just for fun, you know, but you need an SUV. In fact, I recommend having a truck that can carry and a trailer, so that you have the, you know, the trailer for all the nasty stuff, and then all the good stuff goes in the truck. So that's what I do. But, you know, as far as, you know, how you want to do it, I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm just showing you the things that I do, which really, really work for me, and other people have said they like the way I do it. So, and then I got how to clean. You know, pretty much like I said before, you know, once you get everything emptied, everything has to come out. Everything goes away. You sweep it down, you blow it out, you do whatever you got to do, but you cannot leave a mess in the locker. All right. So that's pretty much everything you need to know. You know, the big thing is just having the right stuff, the you know, the broom, the dustpan, the dollies, the way to move it, you know, how to keep it protected, you know, having some blankets and stuff, so if you're going to throw it on the trailer, it doesn't get all scratched up, you know. But like I said, before you bought this, you already knew how to sell. So, you know, you figure out how you want to sell, where you want to sell, and then you figure out what you want to buy. And these things come in all shapes and sizes. There are lockers that are 5x5 and 2.5 foot tall. And there's lockers that are 32 by 60. That's the biggest locker I've ever bid on. You know, so it can be whatever you want. This is a world of grandeur. This is a world of mystery and chaos and money and failure and emotional roller coasters. Because you're going to find stuff and you'll be like, oh my God, I found something. In fact, the other locker that I bought at this same auction, I bought this one for 10 and I bought another one for 30. Pulled out one little tiny box, had 2 gold earrings, you know, worth about $50 a piece, 2 sets of gold earrings. So, you know, there's $100 in gold right there, just in one little box, and there's still plenty of other stuff in the other one. This one I was not expecting to win at $10. So, you know, because a guy was bidding 5. I was like, come on, man, you got to bid more 5. I'll bid 10. And they took my bid and no one else bid on it. So I'm like, okay, I just won a locker for $10. And then I figured if I've got to come here and clean up one, I might as well buy another one. So I bought the other one for 30. So, oh, and one other thing, like I work by myself. So this is strictly something else, but drinks, entertainment, like I have a little radio, I keep drinks. So, you know, whenever I'm out here, because it'll take me probably about an hour to 2 hours to process a unit. So, you know, sometimes it's just good to have some background noise and make sure you stay hydrated and, you know, you don't pass out. So, And then there's other lockers that aren't outside to where you're inside, air conditioning. So, and let's see. And I guess the only other thing I could tell you to kind of end it all is understand that, you know, at least for me, this is Florida. Florida has crazy weathers. So sometimes you'll sit here and you'll buy a locker and it'll be nice and sunny, come back to process and it's pouring down rain. So just understand that, you know, chaos will work against you at every single aspect of this, you know, this livelihood. So, but if it's raining, they don't give you extra time. I mean, you know, maybe if it's a hurricane, they can get, you know, but even then, rules are rules, and make sure you understand the rules. So, but I think I covered just about everything that you can possibly come across, you know, with buying storage lockers. And there's a lot of money sitting behind all these doors here. In fact, I had a door on the next row that had, you know, about $100,000 in doors sitting in it for a while. So, you know, there's money to be made in this line of work, but it is a line of work. It's not, you know, buying it and everything just happens without you doing stuff. You have to work at it. You're going to have to hustle. You're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to sell. And I'm going to tell you, the selling is the hardest part. That's how I ended up with all the stuff I have, because it's easy to buy, but it's a different story to sell. So, but if you got the selling down pat, there's no reason why you can't make, you know, as much money as you want to make. And I guess the only other thing I could say is, you know, if you're planning on selling at the flea market, opening up a store, everything else, try to keep your overhead low, so that, you know, because the more money you spend is, you got to make more money to get profit. So try to keep your overhead low. That'd be the only other thing I'd add to this. So, but hopefully you enjoyed. I'm about to get to work. I may, depending on what I find, do a little recap video of just, you know, if I find some cool stuff. So, but for the most part, I think I'm just going to start the grind and get my trailer full and, you know, start figuring out what the heck I got in this locker. And if you have any comments or anything like that, post them below. I will answer them. So on that note, peace, love, money. I'm out.